Across the Board with Ian the Colonel here on hawkradio.org and acrosstheboardradio.com. Again, from the biggest bands to the biggest new up-and-coming bands, we try to introduce you to everyone or reintroduce you. And actually, friends of the show, Divided by Friday, hooked us up with this band, I the Mighty. If you haven't heard these guys, go check them out right now. They're going to be selling out every venue really quickly. Love these guys. And we have Brent with us right now. Brent, lead vocalist and guitarist. Welcome to the show, man.
What's up?
Feeling good. It's another good day, and we love discovering bands that we haven't heard yet, and I feel like we're probably behind the ball on this as well. You have a new EP out. Listen to the songs on Facebook and love what I hear so far. Tell us about what we can expect from the entire EP.
Cool, man. Yeah, the EP actually comes out next Monday, but it's 6 songs. They're all really good, I guess. I don't know. It's cool. And we worked with Erik Ron, who's a great producer out in L.A. He saw us play at the Roxy and thought he could do something cool with us. So we met up with him and recorded a couple songs, and ended up making their way to Equal Vision. And then they just told us, go back in and do your thing. It was cool. Equal Vision's the shit. They don't really pressure you to sound like anything. They kind of they sign bands they like and they let you do it. So we just went in and recorded what we liked. Absolutely.
And Life on Repeat, a label mate of yours, is actually from our hometown. So good friends of those guys as well. The 4th song on your EP is called The Frame 3, Sirocco. Why The Frame 3? What happened to Frame 1 and 2?
It's a third part of a 3-song story.
Okay.
I actually wrote the first part a really, really long time ago, but I'm going to rewrite it because it's not very good.
Okay.
But yeah, it's Sirocco is basically like a Mediterranean windstorm, which is why it's called Sirocco. But it's kind of just this big epic story. I don't want to give away too much because this is the last part. It's the end of the story. But
fair enough.
Basically, a guy is framed and he is trying to get away from these people that are trying to kill him. So at the the third part of the story, at the end, he's the victor. But it doesn't really give away what happened in the prior. The 2 following songs will either be, I think we're either going to have both of them on our next full length, or I might decide to do one on the next full length and one on the full length after that, just to make people wait extra long. But
what hype it up?
Yeah, man. What made you decide to do that? A multi-parter, telling a story. Other bands that have done that, like Coheed and Cambria, is all sort of a story. It's kind of a comic book told through music. What made you decide to do that?
I actually just got my first tattoo 2 weeks ago, and it's the Keywork logo by Coheed on my forearm.
Awesome.
So I've always, since I started writing when I was 16 or 17, I've always wrote stories. I write more story songs than normal songs. That's just always interested me, and I think I have probably just an overactive imagination and just think of this stupid, and I try to put it into a song somehow.
But it works for a lot of songwriters. Some people write what they feel, but others write what they can imagine too. And it really worked for guys like David Bowie, especially. He had that active imagination, and he made how many different stage characters up? That really seemed to work for him. And I'm sure you guys are absolutely pulling that off as well.
Thanks, man. Yeah, there's a lot of this EP is a good example of kind of a mixed bag. There's some songs that are definitely inspired by real life events and some real stuff that I was going through, and then there's other songs that are more story like. The reason that the EP is called Karma Never Sleeps is all 6 songs kind of tie in the theory of karma. So that's why we went with the name Karma Never Sleeps.
Yeah, again, Karma Never Sleeps is the new EP, 6 songs deep, and love everything we've heard off of it. You have to explain the cover work for me, though, the cover art. It's there's a lot going on there, and people have to check it out so they can see. But it's basically a naked woman, upside down, hanging by kind of a fish hook. It's kind of part robot, I guess, or part cyborg. What's going on there with a sort of 70s haircut, if you will?
The art doesn't necessarily to a T match something in the lyrics or something. It was artwork that this guy Brad did for us that we really liked. The things that do tie in are he kind of did most of the artwork off of the song The Dreamer. That's why it's kind of a dreamlike state, and why there's kind of really crazy stuff going on with her.
Mm-hmm.
The things that tie in with the lyrics are basically the fact that it's a dreamlike state. This girl's falling. You always have that falling concept in the dream. In the song The Dreamer, basically like the pre-chorus says like, can't you feel the earthquake coming on? It's like that feeling when you're about to wake up and you know you're about to wake up and you like really don't want to, but you know, immediately wake up after that. It's kind of a representation of that feeling. If you look at her back, there's like a cord plugged into her back, and that's taken from lyrics in the bridge and stuff.
Okay, nice. And talk about the new single, "Cutting Room Floor." I think this is what's going to be the song to propel you guys into the spotlight. What was the mindset on "Cutting Room Floor"?
The mindset behind "Cutting Room Floor" is one of our more politically driven songs, which we have a few of. We'll probably have a bunch more on the next full length that we're going to record. But it's just kind of a song speaking out about like frustration through politics and a lot of the greed and immorality that goes into politics.
A little bit, yeah. And timely, I guess, with the election coming up, the presidential election, that should be interesting as well. Now,
Cutting Room Floor has actually been out for like 8 months. We released that expecting the EP to come out in fall, and then for various reasons it got pushed back, and now it's like that song has been out for so long. People are like, all right, when is this EP coming out? So we just released Dreamer. The Dreamer came out about a month ago, and we put it up on YouTube, and that actually climbed like really fast. Like that was actually had a really good response to it. So it's cool. We've pretty much had 2 singles out. We're putting out another song too on Absolute Punk soon that we just did a music video for. So that should be coming out soon, and then our music video is going to debut on MTVU, I think, next week, like late next week.
Awesome. And that's for Dancing on a Tightrope, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And the Dreamer video I wanted to ask it's a lyric video, which are getting really, really popular these days, which are awesome because they're cool to watch, and they give you the lyrics from the artist. Did Equal Vision have that made? Did you have it made, or was that just some random fan that made that?
I think it was our manager's buddy, actually.
Okay. He's talented.
Our manager said, like, hey, we're making a lyric video for Dreamer. We're like, cool. And they sent it over, and we're like, all right, this is awesome.
Simple as that. Yeah. Now, you guys, when you're on the road, when you guys are out and about, what keeps you sane? What keeps you grounded and focused?
Each other, really. I mean, I know a lot of bands probably say this, but I'm really, really lucky to be in a band with the people that I'm in a band with. I mean, you meet so many other bands on the road, and there's like very often there's like maybe one person that I don't know just pisses people off, or I don't know. There's a lot of different like band dynamics, and it is like a relationship. You know, like you're with these people more than you're with your girlfriend, and coincidentally, I no longer have a girlfriend because I'm with these people so often. I'm like gone. So yeah, I would say like, friends back home, just being in communication with friends back home, and just the people you're with. You gotta just enjoy the company that you're with, and I'm with the same 3 or 4 dudes for months at a time, and luckily they're all just the coolest people in the world, so it works out.
And honestly, that's surprisingly not a very common answer for us. We hear a lot of guys when they say what keeps them sane, it's their family or their iPod or whatever, but very rarely do we ever hear them say bandmates.
Yeah, a lot of people hate their bandmates.
Yeah,
so
after a time, they get apparently a time on the road wears.
We're lucky. We're really lucky. We just all get along really well, and like bands have issues and things come up, but it's like we've always, since the beginning of this band, we've always had the mindset that if something's bothering you, you like sit everybody down, tell them how much you love them first, and then explain what the situation is, and you work it out, and like you squash it right there in the moment, and like don't let things overhang or build resentment. You get it over with and you move on, because this is a relationship more important than a relationship. This is like our lives. So
that's important in any relationship, yeah, for sure. Whether it's romantic or bandmates or anything, definitely try to do that. And coincidentally, I'm actually looking for a girlfriend. So if you want to break me off with your ex-girlfriend's number, that's
no.
Too soon, buddy.
Yeah, too soon. But
that's terrible.
On the info on the Facebook page, it's listed as for fans of Circa Survive, Envy on the Coast, and Say Anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say for fans of I the Mighty, I don't think you guys sound like those other bands. I mean, that's good to kind of be an introduction, but you guys have your own unique sound. How do you achieve that? It's so rare these days. I
don't know. We just write. I think that's very cool for you to say. I think it's funny because like that's the kind of the bands that we picked that maybe we sound like. I mean, I kind of listen to Circa. I got into Blue Sky Noise a lot. I hadn't really like heard too much of them before that.
Okay.
Envy on the Coast, I've only heard their singles. I don't have any of their albums either. I definitely listen to a lot of Say Anything, so I can see kind of maybe lyrically. I've definitely been influenced by Max Bemis a decent amount.
Okay.
But I think I don't know. I think we just write what we write, and I'm glad that it that people can't put an exact band that it sounds like. Like we've had all these different like magazines and stuff like write about us and say like what bands we sound like, and they range so crazy. Like some people have said we sound like what was it? The new we're in the AP magazine like 100 Bands You Need to Know, and they compared us to Dashboard Confessional, Fireworks, and This Time Next Year, which I don't agree with any of that, to be honest.
Neither do I.
Nonetheless, it was cool to be in that magazine. That was really, really awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and agreed. One of the top 100 bands to watch for sure. Which some other bands, like I said, label mates of yours, actually Life on Repeat, and not a label mate really, but Divided by Friday, you guys have toured with. Who else have you toured with, and what have you learned from touring these days?
Well, we've actually done. I think the most tours we've ever been on with one band has been with A Lot Like Birds from Sacramento, who are our closest friends, and they're amazing, amazing musicians. Like their newest album is unbelievable. I listen to it almost every day. But honestly, I learned a lot just from touring with them, simply because they're really, really good. Like I just watch their stage presence every night, and they're really awesome people, and I think like. I don't know. It's cool when you tour with bands that you are really close with and that can keep you sane. I mean, so far we've been lucky. Like every band we've toured with has been cool. Like we haven't had a horror story where we tour with a band and like people didn't get along. But like we just toured with Victorian Halls, and they were really cool. Divided by Friday, Midsummer Classic, a lot of touring with A Lot Like Birds. We're actually hoping to do a lot more touring with them just because it's so much fun. But I mean, no matter what band you tour with, you can usually draw something that they do that you enjoy. I think more directly, we kind of ripped off the way Victorian Hall set up their merch. Like a more recent influence is the way they set up their merch. We're like, oh, that's a lot simpler and nicer looking than what we do, so we should do that.
There you go. Hey, take inspiration where you can find it. What about being from San Francisco? How does that, such an artsy city, beautiful, how does that influence your music as well?
I mean, it actually like directly influences a lot. I mean, this probably my favorite song actually on our new EP is called "These Streets Are Alive," and it's influenced by like just kind of homeless people like walking around the city and just they're everywhere really. And I don't know, this kind of this concept for a song came to mind about like in the mind of this homeless man who kind of like knew that he wasn't going anywhere with his life, but he was content with it. Like he was content in living with the moment and like doing drugs every day and just kind of like just really just experiencing like life for what it is and taking everything day by day. And then by the bridge of the song, he kind of realizes like wow, I really messed up. I had this American dream in my head that is unachievable now because I've like lived in the moment so much that I'm no longer in the moment. I mean, that's a good example of like San Francisco, directly influencing a song. But I mean, besides that, there's so much diversity in art and just different types of bands. Like a lot of places we tour, there's like metalcore is huge, and it's like all that's out there.
Right.
And then San Francisco, it's like you got your metalcore bands, you got these crazy folk indie bands, you have like soul artists, you have a bunch of hip hop artists, and a lot of them are really, really good. So it's kind of cool.
That's interesting because in the opening sequence to the TV show Full House, I don't remember homeless people running around. And that end shot, that wide shot of the hill and the houses and all. So it just wasn't realistic, folks, apparently. But again, the new EP is out right now, and love every note on that. Great stuff. Where can people see you guys play live in the next several months?
Unfortunately, we've been touring pretty steadily since the beginning of January.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we just got back from South by Southwest, and we don't have anything until May. We're going on tour with Ice Nine Kills in May. It's pretty much just like a West Coast thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're hitting like San Francisco, Portland, Seattle. I think it's like 10 dates.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that's all we have right now, but we're working on, booking a big summer schedule, so hopefully we'll be out for the better part of summer and fall.
Excellent. Brent, if you knew the world's coming to an end in the next, I'll give you 30 minutes or so, what is the last song that you would want to hear or perform, yours or anybody else's?
Oh, damn. That is, how long is this phone interview supposed to be?
As long as it needs to be, my man.
I don't know. There's, kind of lame, but there's this Jason Mraz song that I'm really into right now. It's called A Beautiful Mess.
Okay.
It's just a gorgeous song, and I learn how to play it, and I cover it all the time because it's really, really fun to sing. But I'd probably play that to somebody and hope that they enjoyed it or something. I don't know.
I don't know the song. I'll have to look into it, but the title sounds cool for like the end of the world, A Beautiful Mess.
Yeah, it's just a gorgeous, like poetic, awesome song. I don't know why. There's something about it that I love, but definitely like my jam right now, my little slow jam.
Nice. You can play it as you go out. Then again,
it's all about what it means to you, though. If it's the end of the world, man.
For sure.
It's a beautiful mess. I think it's kind of fitting.
The world is a beautiful mess. Yeah, well said. I the Mighty. Check these guys out. Not to be confused with I the Breather. Different band. There's all these bands.
Yeah. Oh man, that sucks. We get like there's stuff on YouTube where it's like, oh man, I really like this song, but that's like the worst name rip ever. It's like, we've been a band for a long time. Like,
yeah.
We've been I the Mighty. We were I the Mighty for 3 years before I ever even heard of I the Breather. Like, it's not a name rip.
Right.
And we named it after one of our songs that I wrote like 7 years ago. Like, it's really old.
Yeah, and they're a lot heavier band than you guys. Different fans for sure, I would think, but both great bands. In any case, I the Mighty is who we're talking about right now. Go out and check out the EP. And Brent, we really appreciate the time. We'll be back here in a few minutes on Across the Board with Ian the Colonel on hawkradio.org.
And acrosstheboardradio.com.